welcome to today's Dashcam Diary of a Disabled with me, Chronically Happy. Well, it's been a while, folks, and I haven't done any dash cams and any other chilling with Chronically Happies. I did do a chilling with Chronically Happy, but it was just a really short-lived different video because of my unique personality. I did get a comment on that video that I am creepy and weird. Okay. Whatever you feel you need to tell me, sure. Whatever. I cannot let any kind of trolls or internet people get me down. No living in fear. Don't give a crap about what people think about me if it's in a negative aspect. I care if it's a positive one. Actually, sometimes I don't care about that either. I'm not gonna, let me take that back. Sometimes I care, sometimes I don't. Just depends on the day. And today, I don't give a crap about anything except for taking care of what I need to take care of, being a disabled woman at the age of 45. With a malfunctioning body, waiting for surgery. I'm just now trying to get out of vacation mode, and I'm about to leave on another mini vacation music festival, Beyond Wonderland. It starts tomorrow, not officially. Tomorrow is check-into camp day, and there's a pre-party tomorrow night. So the next not tonight, but the next 3 nights and 3 days, I'm going to be cosplaying, dressed up in costume. I did my little trial run on my Chillin' with Chronically Happy, and I'm told I'm weird and creepy for it, but whatever. They don't get into cosplay, and I don't expect everybody to. It's whatever people want to do. I'm processing this information. I'm spinning it in a positive light. Thinking about how I really don't. The less you care about what people think of you, the happier you're gonna be. Gosh, I hate these fake filters. Stop being fake filter. It makes my skin look fake, and I look like an AI. I don't know what I'm going to have to do to change my camera settings to stop doing automatic filters for me. It's not by choice. I'm not trying to be fake. I want to be as authentic to my real self as I can be with minimal editing and moving forward. I don't care what people have to say. Although I don't want any negativity on my page, so I'm probably going to delete their comment because I don't need that in my life. And I don't need anybody else suggesting it to anybody else watching my videos to get that idea in their heads. All it takes is one person to spread like a nasty rumor or their opinion or perception or whatever you want to call it. I had a very terrible day yesterday. It was rough. Like, I don't know what that was all about, but I am having energy work done on me right now. My dog's energy is off. Mine is a little bit off. I mean, today's better. Like, yesterday was a bad day. But I don't want to give yesterday's rough day power over anything to do with today. Today is a brand new day. Things don't have to be the same way as yesterday. I had a very short fuse yesterday. It just started off wrong. I was late to my appointment. I spent too much money yesterday. But I need to accept my actions and accept that, yes, I spent way too much money, and I need to realize my money is about gone. My settlement is about gone. I'm not happy about it. I really wanted to invest, and now I'm going to have to put myself in a very tight leash over the next 6 months, basically, to get that money back for everything that I've spent. But I'm also looking at it this way. Once I have surgery, I'm not going to be spending hardly any money unless it's online, and I'm going to really have to curb my online spending habits. Right now it's all fun and games because I'm going to these music festivals, and I'm going to be spending a lot of money on gas. I'm just not happy with the way I've spent my money. 100% of the money I've spent. So I'm trying to get over the idea of the money that I've spent and be okay with it. Because I spent $1,000 yesterday at Walmart. I've never spent $1,000 at one shot like that in Walmart. I honestly feel like I should have put it on my credit card instead of using my money. But I'm trying not to have any credit card debt because I don't want any monthly payments. So essentially, my paychecks are all mine every month instead of shelling it out to these credit card companies because I spent their money and not even my own. Today's a serious kind of talk. I needed to talk to get some of this off my chest. I haven't done any dash cams, and that's probably my problem. I need to talk about things, and I haven't been talking about the right things that I need to process. And so this is where me having a therapist is a very big deal. I don't have one, and so y'all are my therapist, essentially just listening to me ramble about whatever I want to ramble about at that moment in time. This moment in time is Wednesday. It is June 15th, 18th, 20th, 19th. I don't know, guys. I didn't look at the date yet today. I barely look at my calendar only to see that I have doctor appointments that I need to make sure that I need to go to. I don't really pay attention to the date that much. I know it's Wednesday. I know it's June. I know it's 2025. The exact number I can't tell you. So Friday the 13th. So the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th. And today is the 18th. There we go. I just had to count it out loud in my head. I'm not naturally smart in math. I have to use my fingers to count still at times. I'm that terrible. But yet, I have a Bachelor of Science. I have learned all the way up to calculus, trigonometry, statistics. I've taken very high math classes. But I still need to count on my fingers. I can't count. And so multiplication, I have a hard time off the top of my head. I remember in grade school when I was learning multiplication. Oh my gosh. I had the hardest time memorizing the multiplication table. I can't do it. I can't do it with certain numbers. Certain numbers are really hard for me to remember how to do. And so I have to go to the nearest number that I know that is multiplied by what. And then I whatever works. That's what calculators are for, but my calculator app stopped working on my last phone, and I don't know if they actually install those pre-installed anymore, which I don't see why they wouldn't, because they should. So whatever the case may be, why ever it stopped working on my last phone, I don't know. And I haven't even bothered looking on this phone. I just go to Google and do the multiplication or the addition problem, or whatever math I do, I put it in Google and boom, spits me an answer. It's that easy. That's why it just, when I went to college, it was when I was older. I went in the Navy at the age of 20 because I wasn't getting anywhere in life from the age of 18 to 20. My parents made too much money for me to get financial aid approved for college when I was 18 years old, 19, 20. I lived at my parents' house. The cost of living was more livable back then, but also not on a minimum wage job and by myself. Even back in the 90s, like when I graduated high school in 98, you still needed at least maybe a roommate or two, well, at least one roommate to be able to make it on a fast food kind of income with car insurance, and cell phones were just beginning to be used, so we didn't have the astronomical cell phone bills that we have today. They were really expensive, even more expensive than they are now, I think, back in the day when they first came out. Because I was 16 years old or 17 years old working in security as a security guard at different places. So my mom actually had one of those big bags. It's like a big bag like this, like a camera bag. And the phone was like hooked up to that because the battery was like that big too. Or, it was huge. It was ridiculous. It took up the entire center console of my mom's Dodge Shadow that she owned, that I used for work a lot of the time until I had my own. I had my own cars too, but they weren't very reliable, so I had to borrow my mom's car off and on for school or work or whatever. But I ended up having to use her cell phone too. That big old thing, that bag, that purse phone. You'd knock somebody out with that thing too, for sure. Anyway, I was working dead-end jobs. I even worked 2 jobs, and my habits of smoking cigarettes and my habits of gas money. So what I spent my money on back in high school in the 90s was gas money, cigarettes, and weed. Marijuana. It wasn't recreational or stores back then, so, I got what I got. A lot of it swag, but we started getting like Canadian stuff after a while. Called them Beasters, BC Buds from British Columbia. And that was like the first chronic that I was able to ever smoke too. I think it was straight up from Canada. The normal stuff that I used to get was swag. It was like brick from Mexico. It was like seeds galore. I don't know if I need to put a disclaimer in my description about talking about substance use or whatever, but I probably should, just to be safe. I'm going to have to take the time to freaking write up a description of my video. Anyway, I was working dead-end jobs. I had nowhere to go. I couldn't afford college. My parents couldn't allow me to get college because of their income. And they didn't give me a college fund. So I spent 2 years trying to make it, and I even paid for a couple college classes out of pocket, straight up cash or whatever but work kept scheduling me during the times I had classes, and so I just kind of blew off classes because I needed the money. So college didn't work out for me right away. The economy was slightly different back then. It was still kind of hard for, I didn't have my own place until I was in the military. And I had to reach a certain rank in order to be living out of the, not in the barracks. A bunch of crap, honestly, but whatever. I made that rank pretty fast, and My first duty station was Denver, Colorado at an Air Force base at a Joint Command. I worked alongside Air Force, Army, Marines, and Navy as my intelligence job, intelligence analyst. I worked underground in a building with like 5 access points and codes and badges, and couldn't take anything in there with me. Couldn't take cell phones. Can't take any of that stuff inside work. They had to sit outside of my car because can't have anything that can record inside a secret space because of my background and check and clearance, top secret clearance that I held. Gosh, it was a lifetime ago being in the Navy. It's so weird talking about it because it was so long ago. It's not something that I think about very frequently. Only here and there, if something reminds me of somebody that I knew from the Navy. But like, gosh, I got out of the Navy 15 years ago. I served for 9 years, and I've been out for 15. So I served for 9 years, became disabled, and I've been disabled for 15 years now. So crazy. Actually, 17 years because it took 2 years to discharge me with my disability. These disabilities. So I lived in Salem my whole life, lived in the same house my entire life until the age of 20 when I went in the Navy. My parents lost their house after I left for the Navy, and they moved around a little bit while I was in. And yeah, then I got out at the age of 30. 2 years, it's funny, 2 years. It took me 2 years to decide what I wanted to go to college for, so I started college at the age of 32 and graduated at the age of 38. It is never too late to go back to college. I forgot why I started my college story, but I'll have to do a part 2 later because I'm at my appointment. So I will do a part 2 later. I love you all. Peace out.